Hi, I'm back with another video, and this will entail another great director that I really love, Hitchcock. I know some of these videos that I'm going to put on here will be repetitive and, will be ad nauseum. That you've seen other videos on YouTube that feature films by various directors that I own, that other people also own, but just to show you my collection and show you what I think about various films, or to want to know what you think about certain movies that I have but haven't watched, like leaving a comment. But let's get into Hitchcock's videos. And now, in this particular case, I have a lot of DVDs, but I also have some VHS. I have a fair amount of VHS. And some of that VHS I replaced with DVDs, and some of those ones happen to be Hitchcock ones. But I do have a few Hitchcock movies that are still on tape that I have. I'm going to start with the tape, and then I'm going to go to the DVD. So let's get started. So with some of these tapes, maybe these first few, I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm going to be repeating the same titles over again from a box set of DVDs that I have. I'm not sure if there's a few titles in there that I don't think so. I don't think I have a duplicate copy both on tape and DVD. I think I got rid of the tapes because I have it on DVD, but I'm not positive. But we'll find out as I do this video. So here's the first one. It's called Jamaica Inn. Starring Charles Laughton, Maureen O'Hara, Leslie Banks, and Robert Newton. This is 1939 when this came out. Now, I have no idea what this movie's about, so if you know what it's about and what you regard the movie as, good, bad, whatever, let me know and tell me your thoughts. And I have a lot of movies to watch, so I don't know when I get around to watching any of these things, but I hope to at some point get on to some of these movies. But let me know your thoughts, and I'll let you know about some other movies too, that I haven't seen. And you can leave me your comments and tell me what you think. Next one is a movie called Murder. And this stars Herbert Marshall and Nora Barring. And this is 1930. I have no idea what this is about either. So, and now, this particular movie I've seen, of course, is Rope, starring Jimmy Stewart and Farley Granger and John Dow. I think Farley Granger was in Strangers on a Train. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a great movie. I love that movie. I don't have a copy of it. I've borrowed it from the library. and I highly recommend that movie. This film was, I don't know if it's Hitchcock's best, but it's one of those movies that has like an interesting concept to it. Like Russian Ark, for example, is a film that I also have. It's a film that was shot in one continuous take. It's about a 70, 80-minute movie that was shot in the halls of the Hermitage in St. Petersburg and Russia. And they had to do like 3 takes of that particular film. I'll get to that video in another DVD in another video at some time. But Rope is sort of the same concept in the sense that, even though back in those days cameras didn't hold as much film, well, now we have things like, high definition video that holds a lot of information on hard drives or disk drives or whatever. In those days, they didn't have as much magazine film that could hold as much in the magazine or whatever, the camera. But what Hitchcock did was he he'd shoot scenes and he'd keep it as one continuous shot, and I believe he moved the camera around, and then a person would walk in front of the camera, and the next shot somebody would walk away from the camera, so that'd be like a transition point. But this is about two guys that they murder another person. They put him in a trunk, and they put on top of the trunk a piece of a cloth blanket, and they serve drinks or food on it. And Jimmy Stewart's is this professor, and he's sort of suspicious about maybe their behavior, or he's just kind of suspicious about something. And well, you'll see what happens if you watch this film. It's worth watching, you know. So. The next movie is this is a box set. This is one of my 3 box sets of Hitchcock. This has some Alfred Hitchcock Presents in it, and it has the Alfred Hitchcock Presents. It has the Cheney Vase, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and that's about it, I guess. But it also has these films, and there's a ton of movies here. I don't know if I've seen any of them. Maybe I saw The Man Who Knew Too Much, I'm not sure. Oh, guess what? Jamaica Inn. It does have Jamaica Inn. Oh, and The Lodger. I think I have that in another box set. Yeah, and The Man Who Knew Too Much, of course, I have in another box set. But so it has Blackmail, Champagne, Easy Virtue, The Farmer's Wife, Jamaica Inn, Juno and the Paycock, The Lady Vanishes, which I also have in another box set. The Lodger, The Man Who Knew Too Much, The Manx Man, Number 17, Rich and Strange, The Ring, Sabotage, Secret Agent, Skin Game, 39 Steps, and Young and Innocent. Maybe I had that in a box set too. Anyways, one of these films, which one was it? One of them has this famous sound design to it. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it's Blackmail. It might be featured this technique in Francois Truffaut's book that he wrote, which was Interviews with Hitchcock. And basically what it entails is, I didn't see the film. Maybe the woman murdered somebody or something, but has a knife in her hand and she's cutting food. And you know, back in those days, the sound design, well, not the design, but the sound technology wasn't as advanced like it is now, like digitally. It was more analog, I guess you could say. But Hitchcock designed the scene in such a way that the only sound you'd really hear extremely well was the word knife, 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 knife. And that has sort of like a psychological effect upon the character. So it's sort of altering the reality of the scene. But that's kind of an interesting concept. And it's in one of these movies. I believe it's Blackmail. But that's the Alfred Hitchcock, The Legend Begins. That's the name of the movie. The box set, I'm sorry. 20 movie classics. And here's another box set. Technically, it's not a box set because it's on one DVD. But back in the early days of sound cinema, I think these are early sound ones. And in the silent era as well, they didn't make as long movies as they do today. You know, a movie that's short, usually these days, is at least 90 minutes. There's very few movies, I would say, that today are under 90 minutes. I mean, there are a few, of course. There's Eraserhead, there's Run Lola Run, Russian Ark, but generally the rule for a short movie these days is usually an hour and a half. But in this particular case, back in those days, you have these films, and they feature, oh, they have a nice picture of Hitchcock on the front there with Peter Lorre right there. And Peter Lorre, he was Ugarte in Casablanca. He was the guy that asked Rick to hide the letters of transit for him at his bar, or cafe or whatever it is. And it comes with this nice nice picture in here of Lorre and some facts. And one of the things is it says the film was German star Peter Lorre's first English-speaking role. At the time, he had to learn the lines phonetically, his lines phonetically. So he didn't know English at the time. He didn't know how to speak English, So he was just saying words, and it has some quotes in here. And you know how Hitchcock likes to insert himself into a movie? Well, you can see that here. I believe that movie is The Lady Vanishes. I could be wrong. But this features The Lady Vanishes, Secret Agent, and The Man Who Knew Too Much. I watched The Lady Vanishes a while ago, but I can't remember exactly what it's about. I think it's about a lady vanishing on a train. And I believe there's like a sister accompaniment to this type of movie, or like a sort of a connection to this film called a film by another director named Carol Reed, and it's called A Night Train to Munich, or Night Train to Munich, which is on Criterion, by the way. And two of the characters that are in both films are featured in both movies. They're maybe it's Basil Rathbone or anything. I'm not very fluent or knowledgeable as in terms of actors and actresses of the British 1930s. So but there were two actors in both of those movies, two guys. One of them might have played Sherlock Holmes, and the other one might have played Watson at the same time at those days. I think Basil Rathbone was his name or something like that. But that's the box set there. I'm going to cut this video right now, and I'm going to go do a part 2. I was gathering my tapes together to show you of my Hitchcock films, and I actually remembered I forgot to bring one up to my room to show you, because it just completely passed my mind. And I remembered I had another Hitchcock movie, so that's going to come up in the second video, or if there's a third, the third, whatever. But anyways, it's getting close to my time limit for my first video, because YouTube only allows 15 minutes per video. So this is the end of this video, so I'll catch you up in the second one. Hope to see you in the next video of Hitchcock films. So this is the end of part 1 of Hitchcock DVDs and videos, and then we'll continue on with part 2 next up. So I'll see you in the next video.